Hello friends, Adam here with FED. Today we're going to talk about a class in 3 houses that I think is extremely underwhelming. That class being the Dark Bishop class. I think Dark Bishop had a lot of potential to be cool, and I know it has some factors that are interesting, like Fiendish Blow is an ability, a class ability is fun, the Mastery ability and Life Taker is kind of cool, but overall the class itself is pretty lackluster and uninteresting. So, let's talk about how I might fix that. But before we do that, we need to get into the issues. So, first we look at its abilities. Miasma, I don't really care for that on my advanced class. Miasma, it just makes it so that unit can use the magic attack Miasma, which is the basic dark magic attack. It's similar to just like the normal fire spell you use in other classes, right? So, Miasma, pretty pointless at this point. If you have A rank in Reason, you should have a decent spell list. There's very few units that don't have a pretty good spell list at that point. Namely, like, I don't know, like Felix, I guess. Doesn't have a great spell list. But pretty much anyone that you're going to be putting in a magic class like Dark Bishop has a good spell list already and doesn't need Miasma, right? Heartseeker is another interesting one to me. It gives -20 avoid to all adjacent enemies, but when are you going to have your Dark Bishop on the front line, especially on Maddening? I mean, it might have some niche uses, but I think it's pretty underwhelming overall. But Fiendish Blow is really interesting, and I really like it. The only problem is it doesn't stack with another Fiendish Blow. So you have basically player phase Dark Tome Fair, or Tome Fair. It's +1, but it's only player phase, no enemy phase, and you can't even stack it. If you could stack it, that'd be super cool, just get a free +12. But I understand why they didn't do that, because that'd be kind of broken. The Mastery ability and Life Taker, interesting at the very least. Just get HP from killing things on player phase. But the biggest issue I have with this class is the certification requirements. They are Reason A and a Dark Seal, which is fine, but male only. You have to be a male to use this class, which I don't really get why. It's a missed opportunity in my mind. A lot of the gender lock classes makes no sense to me in 3 houses, and this is probably the one that makes the least sense to me. I mean, Bishop can be both genders. Why can't Dark Bishop be both genders? So, male only, really dumb. Now we go to the growth rates, and these honestly are probably the least important aspect of this class, but they are actually the exact same as Warlock. So, it's like, what's the point of this? Why would you use this class if you could just be a Warlock at this point and have Tome Fair rather than, Fiendish Blow, Heartseeker, like skills that are less, overall probably not as good, right? So it's basically just Warlock as far as growths are concerned, which is too bad, because I think it could have been interesting to do some changes here, and we'll talk about those in a second. Base stats, those are fine. Stat bonuses are the other thing that I want to talk about. Again, very similar to a Warlock, if I remember correctly. So, just the extra magic is good. The extra dex is okay, I guess, to help you hit things. And the res, I don't really think it fits the class, but it's there. Okay, so now let's compare. Let's compare the things that I would change. Show off the things I would change. Let's move this over here. Let's have this pop up. These are the changes that I would make personally. So my changes are on the left. The original's on the right. So I would keep Miasma just so that units who don't have any dark magic in their list could still use this class if they wanted to take advantage of the next ability, which is Dark Tome Fair. And then, of course, they keep Fiendish Blow. Dark Tome Fair plus Fiendish Blow, yes, it's a pretty broken combo. I get it. It's really, really good. But it's something that this class needs to be, to set itself apart. It really just falls short of other classes like Warlock or even just Bishop itself. It doesn't really have a niche. There's no real reason to do this, and this gives it a reason. This is just your extremely hard-hitting magic class. You don't have a whole lot of that, so just it's like its only priority is just dealing mad damage, right? We keep Life Taker because, it's actually pretty cool. And we take away the male-only restriction. Allow units like Lysithea, Happy, even Edelgard, who has a decent dark list, put them in, allow them to be this class to take advantage of the Dark Tome Fair and the Fiendish Blow. But again, you can put anyone in this class to take advantage of those because Miasma is available. So, at least that's my thought process. As far as growth rates, I want to change Dark Bishop to be more of kind of how like Druid or Shaman was used in the GBA games, where it has generally just better defense than your average like Sage or Bishop class. So 10% HP, 10% magic, 10% defense. That's it, straight across the board. I know that's plus 30 in gross instead of just plus 20 that usually has, but I think this really sets it apart, makes it interesting. That extra defense probably isn't going to matter a whole lot, especially on Maddening, but I think it's interesting nonetheless. Base stats I didn't change, I think they're fine. But then the stat bonuses are the next interesting thing I wanted to change. I really like the idea, again, of making this your one-hit, super powerful magic guy on player phase. So plus 6 magic rather than just plus 4. We get rid of the 2 decks just to kind of balance these out. Minus 2 speed, again, to balance things out. And then instead of plus 3 res, I go minus 2 res and plus 3 defense. And I think this really drives home the point that this class is like, heavy hitter and kind of, it's just like slightly tankier than your average mage. And that would just give it an interesting niche. I might even raise, actually looking back at it now, I might even raise the defense base to like 14. If you go into this class, that especially would be useful for a unit like my Scythia or maybe even Happy. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you would do. How would you change the Dark Bishop class? I think it's really interesting in this context. If this is what the changes were to be, I would really like this actually. Like if anyone does 3 houses hacking and wants to do this and send it to me, I don't know, I might play it just because it'd be cool. 3 houses overall is a really good game. I just think it has a few balancing issues here or there with classes. And balancing in a 1-player game, whatever. But this is a really good way to fix it, in my opinion. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like the video before you leave, subscribe for more Fire Emblem discussions like this, and I will catch you next time, friends.